welcome to Deadflicks.
Yes, welcome back to Deadflicks. I'm Pippa.
And I'm Mike.
And we're pumpkin carving.
Yeah, so this was long overdue from last year.
Yes, we actually bought pumpkins last year. I drew on them. We never carved them. They went in the bin.
It was a right shame.
It was a right shame. And a left shame.
Think we had a lot of stuff going on. It was great though.
We did.
So this time around, we've been away for a little while.
We have.
As I'm sure nobody cares.
Yeah,
But that's wonderful for you to notice. Thank you very much.
We moved house.
We did. So welcome to Deadflicks HQ 2.0.
It's lovely.
It is wonderful. Yes, indeed, there are normally this many pumpkins around year round, and so it's kind of just...
Yeah, we're not going to carve these ones.
People don't judge you quite as much when they come to visit this time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
everyone's like, oh, you got pumpkins. It's like, yeah, it's Halloween.
Yeah. Yes, we do.
So we were going to talk about the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina.
Yes.
While we carve.
So if you haven't seen it yet, we're going to spoil the shit out of it.
Yes, it's a Netflix series.
Yes, indeed,
series.
it is.
It's
until everything implodes and people get bought out and shit hits the fan and all the other stuff.
It's currently a Netflix series. So when you were a kid, or most people were children, or people were younger, you may have seen Sabrina the Teenage Witch, which was a TV show that was based off for an animation from Archie comic, which was all, you know, happy clappy fun and yay, be a witch kind of thing. And the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina is a bit Satan-y.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a lot of Satan-y. It's
fun.
It's fun. So we put the spoiler warning out here.
Yeah, spoiler warning. We're going to
talk. If you have not seen it, we're going to spoil the living shit out of the show.
Yeah, we are. It's
not going to be so much a case of like a blow by blow.
No.
But what we are going to do...
There might be some blowing.
But what we are going to do is we're going to just talk about kind of the overall interesting things that have come up. Because during our watch of the second season... Because
so first season came out in 2018. Season 2 came out in 2019. And we actually... I suppose we were delayed a little bit because the first season... the Christmas episode they put out disappointed us a little bit. So we ended up sort of taking our time in regard to watching season 2.
Yeah.
Season 2 was fun.
It was just something interesting about it. I mean, the entire tone of the first season, it felt like the whole theme. What are you doing?
Oh shush! Let me do things my way.
They were basically looking to connect Sabrina with the devil.
Yeah.
And it was about her path down the witch's path, and not necessarily what the greater meaning of what that meant.
Yeah, it was just sort of like
to her as a person, but it's just the next step in her life.
It was. So the whole season was about getting her to that point, was getting her to give herself over to being satanic and down the path of night, as they would call it in the show, in regard to joining sort of the coven that she was supposed, you know, and it's really fun because it's like in the TV series you had these sort of happy clappy aunts, and in this one they're just kind of, you've got this one lovely friendly aunt, and the other one is like, dude, I'm smoking a cigarette, fuck off. You know? It's like there's an episode about shagging, which is all about Lupercalia, which is a
season 2
fertility. This is season 2 is a fertility festival in February, early March, and so you've got you got this one aunt going like, oh, you know, it's this heartwarming ceremony, and you might not be ready yet, and that's fine. The other aunt is like, you're 16, you should be shagging.
Yeah, go and get your cock on.
Except for her not so girl penis.
Well, she's gonna indulge. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of that. So
okay, we have bin bags.
Just
it's
make
good.
It comfy.
But so one thing that I loved about the season is in season 1, there wasn't so much of a reflection on modern day culture, like what was going on in the real world, like our world. Season 2 seems to have really delved into what the fuck is going on with the world today. You see things from one of Sabrina's friends coming out as transgender or non-binary,
which was leaned at in the first season.
It was leaned at, but it wasn't really.
It wasn't quite fleshed out.
And they really sort of went for it in this season, which is great. And what's lovely is the actress playing the role, Lachlan, I've forgotten their last name, is actually a non-binary actor. Yeah, which I think is absolutely fantastic when in regard to putting people in the role that should be in the role.
Yeah.
Like, you know, when you get films that are whitewashed instead of having.
I've got a feeling, and I'd be very surprised, and this isn't something that I've researched for the record.
Okay.
If the actor didn't come and read for the role of Theo, it was before that. What was the name? Susie. The actress came in and read for the role of Susie, and then because the actress was non-binary, that basically informed the writing of the second season.
See, that's wonderful if that's what they did. That's
honestly what's happened with a lot of the stuff. But for pop culture wise, just for context, so this show specifically was in the news, I'm to understand, over the Baphomet statue.
Yes.
So in the Academy of Unseen Arts, they've got this massive statue which they totally and utterly cribbed from the Satanic Temple's statue.
Yes.
If you don't know about it, go and look it up. It's really worth finding out about. Basically, they're doing an awareness thing.
So there's the whole documentary they could just watch.
Yeah,
came out recently.
It's fun. It's fantastic.
Is it on Deadflicks?
It's called. No, it's not. You got to rent or purchase it.
Rent or purchase it.
You can find it online. It's called Hail Satan with a question mark.
And it's all about the Satanic Temple.
About the ethics of a non-theistic religion and how it's making a difference in the world, in making equality for people and fighting for people's basic fucking human rights.
Which is great.
Which is a wonderful thing. But to get to the other part of it, so the Netflix show people, whoever the showrunners and the producers for Sabrina were, totally ripped off their Baphomet statue and replicated it down to the two children beside him, and the gesture and the chest and the feet and the crossing and everything. So they settled them out of court, apparently. TST came at them with a lawsuit and said, hey guys, come on. You know, because they'd really ripped off this thing they'd commissioned an artist. It was like 20 grand plus.
Yeah, it was.
To get this thing created.
And this is TST, not Sabrina.
Yeah. And yeah, they settled out of court, so that's all okay. And then kind of almost as if in response to the whole situation, in the show, in season 2, they basically have the statue destroyed. Which I thought was a little interesting.
It certainly was quite interesting that that's what happened.
Yeah, it was just to kind of say, okay, we hear you. Don't bitch about this. We've done it. Bye bye.
Yeah.
Buy statue. Bye bye. But like we open with it, the show initially in the first season felt like it was just a show about a girl
who had magic powers.
And there was a heavy kind of overlay of kind of witchcraft, capital W, riding the black goat out into the center of the woods and signing in the Book of the Beast and all the other stuff that went with it, which
was sort of like it was interesting, and it was different to see people sort of going at this kind of stuff and going, okay, we're going to totally talk about Satanism, we're going to put it in the show, we're going to do this and this, and Netflix clearly just went, yeah, sure, whatever.
Yep.
And I suppose it's kind of like, it's almost like a respect thing. If you can have Christian shows on TV, you have Satan shows on TV.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But that's why there was a lot of uproar with people going, the Satanism on Netflix. Oh God! I was like, you know what? Just don't watch it.
Yeah, no.
If you have a problem with it, don't watch it.
They were petitioning.
Oh, I know.
Is that a whole Good Omens fiasco? Where morons are petitioning Netflix to take Good Omens off.
Except for it's on
Prime.
Yeah.
Fucking morons.
So anyway, season 1, you see Sabrina and her friends. You see the relationships with them, and I love the casting. Oh, this is going to sound really... I suppose, not pathetic. It's like, I love that they've included a mixed race cast. I shouldn't even have to say that. It should just be the norm.
Yeah.
But they've made an effort to have a cast of multiple races, multiple nationalities. It's wonderful.
It's part of the thing, though, and
no, but I shouldn't have to make that a thing to say. I'm really glad they've done this in a TV show.
You shouldn't have to say it. No. But we're at that transitionary point, quite literally, where this is now becoming the norm.
Yeah.
And until we kind of pass out the other side, and it'll always be kind of a grey area, there will always be issues about it.
Yeah.
But we're getting there.
We are. Slowly. So, season 1, you see her with her boyfriend, her friends, you see the relationships with them, and she's torn between these two worlds. It's her, it's her 16th birthday, you turn 16, she gains her powers. So up until this point, she's been a normal girl of a witch family. She turns 16, and she has to sign the Book of the Devil. She doesn't want to. So she doesn't. And so she turns at 16, gets her witch powers, but avoids, I suppose, the signing on the dotted line, the agreement that this is who you're going to become. And it was really nice seeing it being a choice, not everyone's going, oh, you should do this because that's what's done, and she's gone, I don't care if that's what's done. I don't want to do it. I'm not, I'm not going to be what you tell me I am. I love you little sketches. I'm just going to cut holes and hope that it doesn't look too stupid.
Yeah, no, I learned the hard way with that.
So Sabrina is played by Kiernan Shipke. I probably pronounced her name terribly. First name is Kiernan though. And she's just brilliant. First thing I ever saw her in was a film called February.
Which is known overseas as The Black Coat's Daughter.
The Black Coats? Or the Black Goat?
The Black Coat.
The Black Coat. Oh, okay.
It's got 2 separate names. I don't quite know why.
Well, you get that though with films. Like, what was that? What was that one that we had? That
2
was...
Pigeons.
2 Pigeons.
2 Pigeons was a whole other deal as well.
Yeah, but there's another film that had 2 different names.
4 different names on
it. The film that I really liked has got 2 different names.
Mm-hmm.
I can't think what it is. I can't think at the moment. But yes, so we finished watching season 2, which was much more enlightening.
Mm-hmm.
You see feminism being this huge issue in it. So you've got the people at school. She's now, having signed in the Book of the Devil, she has almost transitioned away from her friends and has become
her truest self.
Her truest self, yeah.
Or closest to her truest self that she's ever been.
And she's going to this other school more often than not. She's got new friends. She's kind of got a new boyfriend because she's broken up with Harvey for his own good. And in the previous season, there were lots of things with resurrecting the dead.
You hear that a lot. I'm breaking up with you for your own good.
For your own good. there was a bit of dead people resurrecting and problems with corpses in the previous season. So everything. So she's at this new school, and she's kind of constantly guided through her 2 sort of stories. The first season 1 being her at the old school. Season 2 being her at the new school, or more full-time there, by Miss Wardwell. Miss Wardwell was her favourite teacher at her high school. And she's this we know, as the audience, we know from the first episode that she's actually Lilith. First wife of Adam, first woman on Earth.
Do we find that out later, though?
No, first episode.
Really?
Yep, first episode, we find out that she's Lilith.
I didn't know that.
Yep. It's later.
It was a year ago, I suppose.
It's not revealed until any of the sort of other people in the season, even people that sort of know her, excluding the devil, until sort of like the last 2 episodes.
Yeah, everybody. Well, she basically is her.
Oh, that's creepy.
Yeah, see, that's why I draw.
Pip don't draw.
Oh no, you gotta learn this. I'm gonna give him some pointy nozzles.
So, Miss Wardwell.
This has got a real Star Trek vibe looking nose.
So you've got somebody who's leading Sabrina specifically in certain directions, and she's this strong and powerful woman who does what she wants. But then you find out the whole time she's under the thrall of Satan. Mm-hmm. She is doing things that are required by him, but she doesn't want to.
She's in love. She's doing it for love, and she's always been doing it for love. That has been her guiding principle. And
I think by the end of it, she realizes that she doesn't want to do it for love of him. She wants to do it for love of self.
Yeah.
And she's like, you know what? I'm sick of doing shit for this guy. I want to be in power. Why can't I go? It's like, why have I spent my whole time trying to be on his side? Why can't I be the fucking one in the big chair?
Exactly.
And it's really lovely to see that realization.
And that's truly been the entire story with this, hasn't it?
It's women that are under the thumb, and you see nothing but women that are under the thumb. And you see women who become under the thumb, who then go, fuck that noise. And it's just lovely.
Could you give me the smaller one of these, pretty please?
I could.
That would be very helpful.
I believe that I use it to make food, though.
Well, there it is.
It's here. It's only covered in sweet potato.
I shall wipe it off.
It's still orange. You would never know.
Nobody would never know. But so the way this whole thing has been informed is the empowerment thing is amazing. Like in and of itself, that they've actually taken a moment. But it feels like we keep saying, but not saying, is that there was an entirely different direction planned for the show.
Yeah, after season
until
1.
The political everything. Like it's never going to be a secret that I think Donald Trump's a piece of shit. He is a subpar human.
You're talking the Me Too movement, we believe, had a major impact.
Yeah, it's just people are sick of being oppressed. Ladies are always put under the thumb with this thing. It's
not good enough.
People have basically seen this thing come to the worst possible conclusion in the last year.
Yeah.
And I think that the writers and the creators of the show sat down, looked at this 80% female cast.
Yeah.
And said, you know what, fuck this. We've got the power to say something and to change the world and to basically put forward role models.
Exactly.
And give good representation for people. And they did.
Yeah, they did.
And I think that that's basically where this entire thing has stemmed from, and that's why we got the show that we got, as opposed to a continuation of the
of what was just going to be
Satan from the first show, with a bunch of women who happen to be witches.
Yeah, who wanted to join this school and work for Lord Blackwood.
Yeah, who was phenomenal actually.
Who was played by Richard
Coyle.
Richard Coyle is amazing. I used to watch him in a TV show called Coupling when I was a young teenager, and it was a British TV show, and it was really fun. And if you've never seen it, go find it. it's you probably would have to purchase it through Amazon Prime. I'd have thought.
Yeah.
It's because it's from 90s.
That kind of a deal.
But yeah, so I mean he's in charge of this school, but he just wants more power. He doesn't like the fact that Sabrina apparently has something special that he doesn't have. He doesn't like the fact that she seems more important than him, clearly to the Dark Lord anyway.
Something else worth mentioning about that is, I've just realised this.
I'm still sick, by the way, sorry.
Is that nobody actually gets, so only a handful of people actually have a one-to-one with Satan.
Yeah, no, only a couple of people do.
So it's kind of like 2 or 3 characters, and it's not even the main people that you'd imagine would have. It's not the head of this church of night who's played by Richard Coyle.
No, it's
all the ladies that basically.
It is, but there's this sort of unusual. So anyway, so Richard Coyle's character wants. No, it's fine. He wants to be in charge of everything. He wants to be like, hey, I'm the man. Women are going to do what I want, and he puts forward his tenets for changing the Church of Night, and saying, hey, this is what I think we should do now, and it's things like
as misogynistic as misogyny gets.
Women
should shut up.
Women should shut up and kneel before men. Women are for doing nothing but breathing and cooking and cleaning. Which is, you know what? We should all be in the fucking kitchen because that's where the food is. That's my opinion when it comes to being in the kitchen. We should all fucking be in there because that's where the food is.
That's where we are.
But yeah, you sort of see all this stuff, and then you see sort of Sabrina, whose parents are dead, and they're writing about his dad putting forward these tenets of mortals and witches witches and mortals should breed together because that's how we'll extend our bloodlines.
Yeah.
And this is how a lot of monarchies ran, which is terrible, which is how kind of inbreeding. Richard Coyle's sort of promoting inbreeding. It's all a bit creepy.
There was that moment at the tail end where he gets both of his kids back.
Yeah.
So at the end of season 1, what are you doing? Scraping that thing to within an inch of its life.
No, I'm just not very good at the scraping.
It's done.
I'm gentle.
I've got enough.
Okay.
It's all scraped and stuff.
Okay. Maybe I'm just too aggressive. Is that my hole?
Yeah. So he gets his twins.
Yes.
Are born at the end of the last season.
Yes.
And Zelda is Sabrina's aunt.
Yes.
Who happens to be a midwife, amongst other things. And she's totally kind of... It turns out she's not in love with him, but she wants the power that he has and will kind of sleep her way through it in order to get to it. She's a smart cookie. And she knows what she wants, and she'll do what she's got to do to get it.
Yeah, she's gonna bump uglies.
Yeah, she wants in. That's it.
Yeah.
And that's totally cool. But with the incest and the kind of inbreeding and all that other terrible stuff, Lord Blackwood gets his 2 kids back, a boy and a girl, and he's talking to his kind of
his daughter through
another woman.
Yeah.
And she says, so what are you going to do? You know, what's going to become of them? And he says, oh, well, you know, she's going to grow up and he's going to grow up. And
she's going to go to all the best schools, which is all these things that she's not been given, you know, as his daughter.
And then he kind of rounds it up with that last kind of moment where he says, and then at her 16th birthday, she's going to get betrothed. And they ask who? And he says, oh yeah, to her brother. To her twin brother. And it's just this, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's not pleasant.
It's all nepotism, and again, it's a parallel for what's been going on in the American government the last fucking 3 years.
Yeah.
We're not even in the States.
No, we're in Scotland.
But the impact of this on the world culture and on...
the people that we care about in America.
Just resistance in terms of people are looking at this and saying, up with this shit I shall not put.
Yep.
Fuck these liars, fuck everybody. And I think that that's what's happened with this show, is because they've basically taken the current situation to its natural end. Because are you going to stab yourself there? Do you want
I just did stab myself. It's fine.
Oh, sweetie.
It's fine, I'm a moron, so it's okay. Yeah, it is. It is like they sort of turned around and went, this shit's happening external to this.
We can't pretend.
So you know what? If we can put it in our fucking show, which I believe is directed by a woman, is it?
I'm not sure. There were a lot of different directors.
It's just It's you see women becoming powerful. You see Sabrina questioning the rules by which she's set when she's told women can't do that. She's like, well. So there's
fuck you, I'm gonna be best boy.
Yeah. So there's a boy, you know, best boy of the school. Well, why can't it be a girl? And you know, Lord Black was like, well, girls can't do that. Like, well, no. I'm here. I'm talented. Fuck you all. I'll do whatever I want.
Yeah, she goes for it.
And she does. And she does not win, but that doesn't matter.
But nobody wins.
No.
I mean, just to be completely honest.
Yeah. Nobody ever wins when you're pitting people against each other based on their sex.
I don't think it was... Yeah, I guess you're right. They kind of couldn't have... As a storytelling device, they couldn't have done that. Not really. It would have ended badly.
Yeah, it would.
Because the point is it's not... to
say women are better than men or men are better than women. It's say...
that we're both people.
Yeah.
That we're all people. It doesn't matter.
And I love that about it. It's just good. You see a TV show go from being lackluster and not putting any of the big questions out there, which are the things that people are really talking about, and going, maybe we can make a difference by putting this stuff in our show and saying, this isn't good enough for the women of the world.
Yeah, it isn't.
It's not.
Something else, which was a really nice roundabout on that. So, the Coven, all the witches together, start off the show, like first season, it's the Coven of the something of Night?
The School of Night. The
Children of Night?
Children of Night and the Church of Night.
And the Church of Night. So it's called the Church of Night for the sake of it. And as things progress, they become different. So it's as it becomes apparent that Satan is playing everybody in the show.
Yeah.
And has basically been playing with everyone and manipulating the entire situation to his own private ends that have no good in store for anybody but himself, of course. Then you have this hail thyself.
Yeah.
This very literal hail thyself situation. So it starts off with them serving the devil.
Yeah.
And everything about them is praise the Dark Lord and Satan forbid, and all that kind of stuff. And then it changes into this thing where they're not serving heaven, they're not serving hell, but they are in alignment with Lilith, who takes over the mantle as Queen of Hell.
By the end of it. And it's a story of, it's a woman who has been done wrong by the devil, who she's served him, tried to serve him, wanted him to love her, and it was never enough.
He's never loved her, he's been using her the entire time. Exactly,
and she's like, fuck you, you asshole.
Yeah. And she's gone on and said, you know what, you don't define me, I'm better than you, and I actually want this for me. I don't need you to have it.
Exactly, and that's the big change. Is she suddenly has this realization that she doesn't want to sit by his side. She wants to stand alone, and he can sit by her if he chooses to, Yeah. It's like kind of...
It's a real something. I really
some of the stuff just was really horrible. So you got this scene where you got Richard Coyle is now married to Sabrina's aunt, and they're walking away from their wedding.
Oh God, yeah.
And he's like, no, women walk behind the men.
You forget yourself, dear.
Yeah, you forget. Women walk behind men, and it's just like, ugh. So fucking unpleasant.
And you didn't you knew that he had issues with him.
Yeah, you knew that there was some kind of women hatred, but it's not really played up until he has an opportunity to show the power, or to push the power more.
Until he's got the upper hand, but everything in even their wedding vows, because he.
Yeah, because he does the wedding himself to her. Sorry.
And that's that all point, he basically says, "You will do this for me. You are this. Yeah. You will submit." And that was basically the entire kind of wedding vows.
Because you spend your whole time watching this season, the series, thinking Sabrina's aunt is this powerful woman, and she's just having a bit of fun with this guy. She likes shagging him. She's not in love with him. She just likes the control and having him to herself. Fine, but it becomes it suddenly flips, and she's no longer this woman in black with a long cigarette who's like, fuck you all, I'm going to drink brandy.
Yeah, she's just tells people to piss off.
She's sort of going, dressed in this tiny little dress, and she's like, oh shit, you kind of see the oh shit, what have I done moment.
Yeah. She's been mind controlled. Ah. Pretty good.
It's fun.
Yes, he is.
He doesn't look like a Keith, though. I have a hot water bottle called Keith. About Gary.
Gary.
There were no Garys born in the UK in the last year. You don't think Gary?
There were a lot of Garys born in the UK last year?
No, there were not.
After Mr. Glitter.
Oh, God, no. But yeah, so it's definitely one to watch. It's a lot of fun. It's, if you are happy to be open-minded towards the Satanism aspects of it,
it's not all
bother
kind
you too
of
much. It's not all Satan, but it's...
It'll get you asking questions, and even if you're just asking the questions of yourself, it's not kind of representative of modern Satanism.
No.
Went down the rabbit hole and have been researching it this week.
Yeah.
As a result, but it's its own thing. It's a really fun show.
Yeah, it is a really fun show
across the board. And we're assuming that if you're kind of sitting here listening to us babble on like a couple of yammering shrinkers, that you've probably seen it by now and you've got your own kind of take on it.
Which we would like to hear about.
Yes, please.
Yeah, if you can tell us what you think about the feminism in the show, about the Satanism in the show.
So hit us up in the comments, or send a tweet or Instagram or whatever it is. We've got a Patreon account, which is fantastic. Yeah. So that's patreon.com/Deadflicks.
Yep.
We've got all kinds of fun exclusive material on there. We've got a couple of watch-alongs, including
The Thing.
The Thing. Those are the audio watch-alongs, but they're actually, there's one for the original Nosferatu.
Yep, there's one for House on Haunted Hill.
Totally exclusive to Patreon subscribers only.
And that's if you get from $1.
Yeah, so it's like 12 to 14 hours of content.
Yeah.
And basically increasing it.
We add stuff constantly. It's just we had a little break while we moved.
Yeah,
and
the move has been pretty decent.
Yeah, so I think that's you finished with your pumpkin?
Not quite yet. I'm gonna just stall for another couple of minutes while I just tidy this little blatcher up.
Does your dance?
Other witch stuff. I mean, there's an episode I've got in the works that I want to sit down, but this is going to take some proper research, and we'll talk about witches and the prevalence of it in pop culture, and how it's changing the culture of the world at the moment.
I think the film The Witch, I think when the film The Witch came out, a lot of people thought it's quite revolutionary in regard to feminism and women, and then there was a lot of people upset by it.
Oh, yeah.
It was all just sort of, it was very, yes, I loved it. I thought it was a great movie.
I was bored.
You were bored?
I was. I enjoyed it for what it was. It made me super uncomfortable. The baby mashing thing was its own beast.
It's easier than bananas.
Yes, it is. But it makes a lot more noise. Depending on, whether you hit it with the hammer or not first before you start.
That's the bananas.
Pro tip. Just put a sheet down.
Yep.
And get one of those
like this
overall plastic raincoat things. That was really funny.
Oh.
So I'm gonna just tidy this. This will take me a second.
Okay, that's fine.
And but yeah, The Witch was a good one.
I'm trying to think what else we've seen recently.
In this specific vein,
I suppose we've seen a lot of things with women delving into the occult, and not under the guise of you're a witch, therefore you're evil. A lot of women delving into the occult under the guise of wanting to experience more about life. So we watched a foreign language film, which we probably will talk about in another video, but there was quite a few where women were delving into the occult they were doing, and it wasn't just teenage play stuff. It's been good.
Given the time of the year, it being Halloween and all.
Yes.
Should we make a couple of, should we make a couple of recommendations for Halloween watches?
Yeah, Halloween watches, okay.
So, go one for one.
One for one.
Without the obvious.
Oh.
So, proviso, neither of us are that fond of Halloween.
Oh, yeah, no.
The original Halloween's boring as shit, so take that with a bucket of salt as you like.
So, I would say, for an easy watch that you could watch with people that want a proper chill that have not experienced horror before, 13 Ghosts.
13 Ghosts is a good one.
13 Ghosts, if you've not seen it, it's absolutely stunning.
Not the original.
No, not the original. The remake from about 2001 with Matthew Lillard.
It's totally solid.
It is. It's our go. It's our go-to movie.
It is our go-to film. Yeah.
So if we're working on something and we just kind of want background noise or background visuals for ideas, 13 Ghosts goes on along with House on Haunting Hill, which is with Jeffrey Rush.
Jeffrey Rush.
Which
he plays
wonderful.
A guy called someone Price.
Yes.
It's not Vincent Price.
No, it's not.
It's something. It's like a cross between Vincent Price and somebody else.
Yeah.
Which is a nice little homage that they're throwing it back in those. You can't go wrong with either of those, actually.
No, all right.
Just as a all-purpose.
So, what for somebody who really likes really scary horror? Like somebody who likes something that really makes you uncomfortable. They want something that they've not experienced before.
You know what? That we actually need to sit and talk about this movie specifically. It's a Spanish language film. It's currently on the Shudder canon.
It is.
This as of October 2019.
Yes.
It's called Terrified, which is one of those movies that it's not very often that we sit down and watch something and go,
wow,
holy shit, I don't know where this is going.
Yeah.
And that is probably the biggest takeaway from that film.
It was actually creepy. And
there was some really, there were a couple of momentary predictable things, but you are completely engaged 100% of the time. It's totally subtitled. It's excellently acted. There's just...
Yeah, it is. It was very, very, very good. It's a collection of... It's almost a collection of 3 stories, and you see how they interact with each other.
It feels like an anthology, but it's
not
at all.
No.
Which was really kind of...
Yeah, and honestly, that what they choose to use in it's fucking creepy. Okay, so...
You took 13 Ghosts.
I took 13
House
Ghosts.
on Haunted Hill.
Yeah.
Those are both from the same time frame, and they make a magical double feature if you're going that direction. If you want like a background party movie.
Okay.
More recently, you've got 10 Tales of Halloween or Tales of Halloween.
Yep.
Which is not. They're not all brilliant.
No.
They're not all bad, but they're all interesting.
Exactly.
With the exception of maybe 2 of the films, 2 of the shorts. It's an anthology style film.
Yeah.
There was one about Billy Boy or something does Halloween, which was my favorite of the lot.
Is that with the little boy?
It's with the little boy.
Gets his costume.
He gets taken on a ride for Halloween, and he misbehaves somewhat.
Yes.
I won't ruin any more than that. It's just a fun
watch. Is this the thing that then had the Terrifier?
No. Terrifier was originally from All Hallows Eve.
All Hallows Eve. Now that's something we watched last year. All Hallows Eve was fun, and All Hallows Eve 2, whatever it was called.
Yeah, it was
also fun.
It's had multiple names. Yeah. I don't quite know what the story is behind that, but apparently there was some legal BS.
Yeah, the standalone movie that came from that with Art the Clown.
Yeah, before was
lacking. Like I think if you just want to watch something with gore, like literally you just want to see somebody being torn apart, and you just want nothing but blood, guts, and mess, go for it. But it was lacking story. It just seemed like they were throwing gore in a movie to put gore in a movie.
It was in my early kind of horror capital E education. You know, when I got really serious about I was going to watch one horror movie every week, and that was my first kind of year of that, was the original All Hallows Eve. That one we're talking about. Anthology style thing. Like Pep said, there's a lot of gore in it.
Yeah.
I think this is about right.
Yeah.
And totally
one last film. So like a wild card.
Wild card. Okay, so you throw one each. We were going to do an anthology show last year.
We were going to do an anthology show. Well, I'm trying to think of a wild card horror movie. I'm trying to think. We haven't got like a shelf full of DVDs now anymore.
No, we don't.
They're
still here. We just unpacked the boxes.
I'm trying to think.
I'm going to wipe my hands off.
Oh, it's sticky.
You want to give me some candles instead, yeah?
Yeah, I will. Okay, so wild card. I suppose my one that I always tend to go for, and which disappointed you, was Red Lights.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, and I don't know.
I liked that one.
It was interesting. It's kind of it had a real kind of like ghost stories kind of feel to it, which is not a bad suggestion.
Midsummer. That'd be a good wild card.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're talking Halloween vibe here.
Okay.
You know, because you can go with the obvious stuff. You can say Trick or Treat, which, if you're watching us and you haven't seen it, you really are missing out on some crazy level here. And then you've got 10 Tales of Halloween. You've got that one that we watched. We just haven't put the video through yet.
No.
It is recorded.
Just haven't put it out into the world.
Just gonna wait for this little candle to catch up before I choke him to death.
No. Check that out. That's so cool.
That's really cool. Well done.
That's good.
It's got some fucking attitude to it.
Of course it has.
Mine has a terrible kind of.
The more flesh you take off the pumpkin, the better it.
That's what I was tidying up.
Ah.
There we go.
So.
With that,
all right.
If we do not see you, you have yourself a wonderful Halloween.
Yes, have a wonderful Halloween. Eat candy. Don't kill too many people because you get caught for doing that.
It is certainly the most wonderful time of the year, and I think that this is a nice little startup for what we're doing. So until next time,
we'll be right back. Bye.